Thanks for tuning in as I clamor for coins in New Super Mario Bros. 2. I'll be running, jumping, and hoarding my way toward all the gold I could ever wish to obtain. Do me a favor and get a good night's rest. Please. Smiley face. I wish the weather was like this right now. I mean, it's like 54 degrees. It's not too bad. You know, it could be better, but luckily the winter was not as harsh as it normally is for my area of the North Shore of Boston, which is good because, yeah, you know, I'm kind of not really sick and tired of the cold, but I'm also like, you know what, man? We can chill with the cold for a while, you know? I'm good. I'm glad that PAX, it wasn't overwhelmingly cold, although it was very windy. Not that that matters necessarily for you, because you're just watching me play New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the Nintendo 3DS. I was going to say Nintendo Switch, but that'd be a bold-faced lie. My name is Brian Saviano, a.k.a. Hungry for Gold O'Brien. And, you know, we're just continuing on through, kinda, sorta, not really, halfway through the game. There are 2 secret worlds, which I don't know what the actual, you know, unlock method for those are. I'm sure I'll figure that out or find out soon enough. I'll probably end up playing them at this rate because everything's going so fast. I didn't think it'd actually be, you know, this quick of a process. You're usually getting through, like, every world in, like, 20 minutes, which is actually crazy cool because it means that, you know, you can play more games and more stuff to do. Because there's always more games to play, ladies and gentlemen. There's always the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. Every time I complete a series, a lot of you will reach out through social media and be like, hey, Brian, when are you going to do this? And I'm like, well, right after I do this, and this, and this, and that, and this, and that, which is fine. You know, everybody has their own requests and things you want from me. But, you know, I got to pace things out, keep things in check, keep the balance, keep the peace as much as it can be, you know? Up to 6,485 coins. And thankfully, not much going on the bottom screen here, so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, in terms of everything else, so actually, before I went to PAX East, not that I am done talking about PAX, because, well, there's obviously still plenty to talk about there, but I went to New York City a while ago, actually the weekend right before PAX East. I had a very intense February, just overall. Lots of things always going on, literally all the time. It never stops, ladies and gentlemen. Best tip for you that I will tell you here and now, and this isn't so much that I necessarily agree with it here, but you know, a lot of the time people are like, hey, don't get old. Don't very much so savor what you got here, you know? Because once you get older, you know, it's not quite the same. And as much as I play video games all day... Oh, wow, I got crunched. Nice. As much as fun as it is, playing video games literally all day long and nothing else, right? Because there's definitely not more to this process than playing games, like editing and all sorts of forms. Lots of forms everywhere all the time. But, like... You know, it's not quite the same once you get older, doing all this stuff. Totally agree, by the way. So if you're like, I don't want to be a kid, I want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid, right? Yeah, don't quite wish for that super soon. Take advantage of the time you have, because, like, now, me playing video games for 8 hours is more like, all right, I want to get these videos done and do all these things. Not necessarily, you know, enjoying games just by myself. I record almost everything I play. So that's a long tangent to say that, like, there's a lot of things that I do other than just playing games. If I had it my way, I would love to just sit and do absolutely nothing all day long. Like, not even play video games. Just, like, sit and, like, lie in bed. But, like, I can't do that, you know? So, like, one weekend I'm going to New York City. The next weekend I'm going to PAX East and doing a whole 4-day excursion there. And now this weekend, I'm going to my friend's birthday. And then the weekend after that is probably something that I'm not even aware of right now. So it's like always an ongoing list of things that okay, I nearly got crunched again. It's an ongoing list of things that, like, not that I don't want to do these things, but like it's a lot of things. Basically, what I'm trying to say is everything else in life gets in the way of me wanting to sleep all the time, which, you know, I'm glad that's the case, because that means I have plenty of stuff to do. You know, I'd rather have a bunch of stuff to do than do nothing at all, so that's cool. But, you know, New York, I drove to New York, which was interesting. I actually ended up, I was supposed to go to Toy Fair in New York City and get a preview of all the new toys that are coming out, you know, like Lego sets and whatever, like Funko had and all that. And, like, I ended up not being able to go to that because I had other obligations back in Massachusetts. So I actually had to leave in the afternoon. So I had already booked the hotel, which I guess I'm just going to go through the whole rigmarole here with you while I got you for a little while here. Let you know the inside stories of BricksOBrian here, and as we deal with these spider webs and immediately losing that mushroom, which is fine, you know. And I guess as soon as we jump off of it, we have it disappear. So that's a really cool concept here. You know, that actually has not appeared. Oh, dang it. Lost track of my fat thumbs there trying to, you know, get to where I needed to go. But, yeah, I figured just go on the tangent here. So I guess I never actually booked the hotel I was staying at. So I showed up to this hotel, which I drove to New York from Boston, which you may say, Brian, that's not too far, or Brian, what, are you crazy? Why would you do that? It's not too far. You know, it's not too much of a hike. It's like 4 hours, and you know what? If you just chill and you cruise, you know, get some music playing, oh, come on, really? You're good, right? You don't need to worry too much about the drive. But I had never driven in New York City before, and I consider myself a fairly good driver, you know? So what if I'm like a couple thousand miles off of my oil change? It's fine, right? So I consider myself a good driver. So, and I am not, you know, knock on whatever material my desk is made out of. Definitely not wood, but I'm going to knock on that. No accidents, no anything. And I decided I wanted to drive through New York City, or drive in New York City, as like a thing to say that I did it, and to go into that situation with enough confidence in what it was there. Oh, okay, cool. Not gonna bother going for that again. Whatever. It's just a coin. It's fine. So I wanted to drive through New York City just to say that I did it, and it turns out I did do it, but I ended up taking a wrong turn and ended up going on 495 West or something. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up going this entirely wrong direction, and I'm like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? I really need to use the bathroom. Why did this happen? So, yeah, that was definitely not fun. But ended up making it to the hotel that I didn't have any place, you know, to be, because I guess never had the reservation there. So she looked me up across all the different hotels everywhere, and she's like, yeah, I don't see you across any Marriott reservation anywhere. And I could have swore I booked a hotel with Marriott, and they're like, all right, no, you didn't, apparently. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll make a reservation here. Turns out they did have rooms, thankfully. You figure for New York City during a convention weekend, they wouldn't have a single thing. Plot twist, they did. Thank the heavens. Usually does not happen that way. So I'm very thankful to my lucky stars for that day. That was great. So I don't think they charged me for the room either. Well, actually, it turns out I did have a reservation at another hotel. And it was at a different Marriott location in New York City. Obviously, there's hotels every 16 feet because, you know, people got to stay someplace, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I just got to cancel that reservation, and there you go. So as far as I know, they never charged me for it. I have to double check on my statements and whatnot, because that's what you do when you're old, people. You got to check your statements and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, not my most favorite part of, you know, making sure I don't get charged hundreds of dollars for a thing I apparently didn't have in the first place, but did. So stayed the night and it was fine. Actually met a lot of you at the Nintendo store in New York City. That was fun. And actually, before I did that, I'm trying to talk about so many things at once here. Once I got acquainted with my hotel room, I went to the top of the Empire State Building as a thing, which I don't know if any of you know this, but this is a thing. So to get to the top of the Empire State Building, there's an elevator system. Obviously, I'm not going to take the stairs. I'm not crazy. But, like, they charge you to go to the top of the Empire State Building, which, like, you know what? I guess it's New York City. I get it. Sure. And the only thing that makes it somewhat digestible as an idea is that they have a museum that goes along with it. So, obviously, the Empire State Building has been featured in plenty of media all throughout the years. So, movies and video games and comics and everything else. So, obviously, it makes sense. And they showcased all the different places that the, Empire State Building has been featured in. One of them, which I was very surprised to see, was in Super Mario Odyssey in the Metro Kingdom. They actually had a little gameplay snippet of Mario going to the very top of the tower in Metro Kingdom, which is pretty cool. Obviously, King Kong and all that. And they have, the hands of King Kong in the, there's giant hands in the building. So, and there's the video walls where, King Kong comes out and grabs you, and it's a whole thing. So, can I get on through here? Is this what I do? Because I don't know where else I would need to go. There we go. You just got to wait a little bit. So, they include a museum with it, which is fine. I looked at the museum kind of haphazardly. I didn't, spend a ton of time doing that because the main reason I was there is to see, the top of the Empire State Building, which, is all well and good. You want to charge me $40, whatever it is, to go into the museum, top of the Empire State Building. Sure. You know what? Fine. All right. I'll bite. I'm in New York. Never been to the top of the building. I've obviously been in planes and stuff, but haven't been in a building to that height ever. So I'll just do it to say that I did it and get the pictures for the phone background and all that. So you can get to the 87th floor of the Empire State Building for $40-something, which is fine. I guess you get the museum or whatever. That's not the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get, and you can see views all across the whole thing, if you want to get to the very, very tippity top of the Empire State Building, you want to get to the very top. No, it's like $42 to get to the 87th floor. You want to get to the very top, the 102nd floor, it's going to cost you $75. So to go from floor 0 to 87 or 82, whatever it is, costs you $40. But to get to the extra 20-something levels, not even, is another $30. And when the guy told me in the very front, he was like, oh, yeah, it's an extra $3. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll obviously do that. Going from the 82nd, 87 to the... Yeah, that's totally fine. Why would I not do that? No, it's $30, not $3. So, next time you go to New York with whoever, mom and dad, and you're like, hey, I want to go to the top of the building. And they're like, no, that's a waste of money. That's dumb. And you still see views. You're just looking out a window. And at the very top, they have like a... The selling point for that is that you go to the very top to see the all-around panoramic view of New York City. That's the selling point there. And you get the museum and all that stuff too. But, whatever, right? So, it's cool. If you want to spend the money, if you want to be balling, go ahead. Go right ahead. Spend the extra $30 to go up 19 floors, whatever it is. But you know what? I'm going to opt out because I am not one of the top 1/10 of the 1% that can, justify spending $30. I messed up there. But to justify it, an extra $30 to go to the top, that's like lunch. That's merchandise at a convention, whatever. No, I'm good. So I opted out of that, as I think most normal people would. That's not an outlandish thing. I'm not the crazy one for saying no to that. I don't think, So I'm gonna jump over here. Okay, cool. I thought I might have gotten squished with that there, but luckily I didn't. So, yeah, I did that, and I got some great pictures for my phone background. It was great. I can absolutely have that, and it's my lock screen and home screen. So I basically paid $40 to stand up top there and take some pictures, which is great. All the couples hanging out there, all the people from other countries hanging out up there. It's very interesting to see the difference in cultures, especially in New York City. New York City is obviously a melting pot, very much so like Boston. You have all sorts of people traveling from all over the world to get to there. And, I was next to people that were speaking French, and it's like, oh, that's cool, yeah. So, you can appreciate, we can appreciate the Eiffel Tower and things like that, and they can appreciate the Empire State Building. And you can obviously see Statue of Liberty, you can see Central Park, and it's a beautiful view, but not, $70 for a view, I'm good. So, that was cool. Went to the New York Public Library, which was very cool. That is where they had filmed Ghostbusters, or at least as far as, I know, they had filmed Ghostbusters. There we go. I knew one of them had to be fake. So I went to, the main area where, they start off the movie, where they're like, all right, we're going to get the librarian there. So that was pretty cool. And then from there, what did I do? I think I just went to I went to the Lego store and hung out there for a few minutes and met up with two of my friends who run a Lego content type of thing. They make videos on Lego. We go to conventions and all that, called Beyond the Brick. Met up with those guys. That was pretty cool. And obviously that's the fake one. Of course it is. So how do I... There we go. Just got to... Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Nope. Nope. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Maybe right here? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Unless it's a trick door, it might be. No, we're good. Okay, cool. Met up with those guys at the Lego store, and then went to the Nintendo store to meet a lot of you, and it was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. So glad that a couple of you managed to show up and say hello. It was great. Did not buy anything there either. Very surprisingly, because the only things that they have that are exclusive at the Nintendo store are the hats, and you don't take damage from the ghosts? Okay, cool. Are the shirts, the sweaters, and things like that, so I already have plenty of stuff like that, so I don't need to get more of that stuff. I have clothes, so I just kind of left it as it is, and a lot of the merchandise, otherwise, yeah, you can just get online somewhere, so I held off on that. I thought I was going to have to bust out the credit card and go hog wild, but no, not quite there. But that was fun. And really the highlight of the night, as much as I love seeing people who watch my videos and do all that, as much as appealing as that was, the highlight of the night was really after the meetup. And that's no offense to any of you. I love seeing people, especially if you enjoy my videos. It's great. It's totally great. It's totally cool. And wow, I got crushed there for sure. It's cool. But I ended up meeting up, one of my friends, Brittany, met up with me and her friends, and we went out to dinner. And that's it. Which does not sound like an interesting story at all. But this group here, my friend Brittany is very, I don't want to say obsessed, but I think obsessed is the correct word. Very, very involved with online communities based around Korean pop stars. Okay. So, yeah, that's a thing. K-pop is a massive thing, especially in, you guessed it, Korea. And there's all sorts of boy bands that sing and dance, and I don't know. But she has a whole network of people that basically not stalk. Stalk is not the right word. They might use the word stalk, but I'm going to use a different term. Relentlessly search for and follow the group. And this particular, and I guess there's multiple groups. I don't know. I don't participate in them. I have no idea. But you know, they participate in those groups and they search for them almost kind of wherever they go, whether it be at a restaurant or a... How is Mario also holding his breath underwater for this long? I don't think I've ever questioned that in my life, but I just had that thought trail into my head. They will follow wherever they go. So, like, if they're going out to this particular restaurant or here after this meetup and blah, 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 blah. So, Brittany, like, I'm friends with Brittany, and we have, like, our friend group. There's, like, Group A, the main squad, the homies, or whatever, right? But these people that were with her are, like, entirely different people that are not, like, of my friend group. This is just a squad that is just dedicated to following around this band. And, or group, I don't know. Yeah, they're not a band. They're not playing the tambourine and stuff, but they're, you know, doing whatever. So, what their plan was to go to a Korean barbecue restaurant that they were at and not stalk them, but just exist in the same area to breathe the same air as them. I don't know. But basically, they were acting incredibly frantic the entire night. They're like, okay, but we got to go here. And the thing is, they didn't know at first where they were going to be, but they follow all of their staff's social media accounts. They follow all of their accounts. Like, they could solve the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle if they put their minds to it. Like, this group of, like, 5 girls. I'm like, how, why is this energy, you know, channeled into this? And I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm just here for the ride. But they followed where they were going to go. So they're like, okay, what do you want to do, Brian? I'm like, listen, I don't care. I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the experience of whatever shenanigans is about to unfold. And they're like, all right, good idea, because we're a mess. And I'm like, great, awesome. I'm down for it. So that's not going to cancel that out. Good. So I end up getting on this train and then switching over to that train and walking all this distance to go there and here, there, and etc. And it turns out we end up going to that's a special little area. Look at that. Very nice. And we get the other coin. Cool. We end up getting to the same restaurant that they were at. And I'll tell you a bit more about the experience. What proceeded from that night after I defeat this boss battle and get into World 4, because our time here is just about up and there's many more details to get out of the way here. So, really? I thought that was going to be it. But okay, sure. I'm going to use this here. Whatever. I don't care. It's fine. There it is. Ooh, 30 there. Wow. All right. That's cool. So this boss battle should be incredibly easy. Just do that, and that should be it, really, right? Oh, never mind. Okay, I messed up on that one. There we go. All right, so that's what we should be doing here. We should be waiting for the tide to settle, then doing that, but not like it matters, because there we go. So, yeah, I'll tell you what happened when we went to the Korean barbecue restaurant, and the band, I can confirm, the boy band was there. Itching in your boots to find out? Well, luckily you can probably watch this episode immediately after this one. Isn't technology, isn't 2020 so great? So there you go. Hi, Morton. Morton, here's a who. There you go. I remember Morton because in the beginning of Color Splash, he's like, Morton, angry. So, yeah, cool. So we're going to go to World 4, Poison, right? It's snow. Ah, okay. It's usually, World 5 is Poison. 6 is, I don't know, whatever. I should know the order, but it's fine. I'll see you. Ooh, Flower Pack is now available. I'll see you guys and girls again next time for World 4 of New Super Mario Bros. 2, where I will talk about the Korean boy band. Oh boy. Peace out. Bye.